Good evening. It is 10 p.m. here in Seoul. I am Adi, the AI anchor with the headline news. North Korea launched yet more missiles on Monday morning, just a day after the regime denounced South Korea's inaugural multi-domain military exercises with neighboring Japan and the US. But one of the two missiles fired today appears to have been a failure. The military said the debris could have landed near the Pyongyang area. Experts say that the recent launches came in retaliation against the recent Freedom Edge exercise between Seoul, Washington, and Tokyo. The regime recently vowed to take overwhelming countermeasures in response to the trilateral multi-domain military exercise held last week. The Yoon administration is setting up a ministry to address Korea's plunging birth rate. The new Ministry of Population Strategy Planning will seek to promote healthy parenting, support an aging society, and encourage effective immigration policies. The head of this ministry will also serve as the country's Deputy Prime Minister for Social Affairs, a position that is currently being undertaken by the Education Minister. Korea has the world's lowest fertility rate, at 0.72 as of last year. Accordingly, back in June, President Yoon Suk-yeol declared a state of national emergency and pledged an all-out campaign to tackle the alarming birth rate. Amid robust performance in the semiconductor sector, South Korea is continuing to see on-year growth for exports. According to the Trade Ministry on Monday, exports for June increased by 5.1% compared to the year before, reaching $57 billion. It's largely attributed to a strong performance by the chip industry, with the country's largest export item seeing a record high figure of $13.4 billion, up more than 50% on year. Higher memory chip prices and demand from server-centered industries pulled up the growth. With strong exports, the country's trade balance stayed firmly in the positive territory, logging an $8 billion surplus compared to the year before. Government officials and business representatives from South Korea and Vietnam have agreed to expand their partnerships in economic areas including supply chains. Marking Vietnamese Prime Minister Pham Minh Chin's visit to Seoul, the Korea Chamber of Commerce and Industry hosted a business forum on Monday to enhance economic cooperation between the two countries. South Korean Trade Minister Ahn Duk-gun underlined the importance of boosting economic cooperation to reach a bilateral trade volume of $150 billion by 2030. As part of such efforts, the two will first try to reach a $100 billion trade volume next year. Ahn added he expects the expanded cooperation to include the cultural content and energy sectors as well. Bukchon Hanok Village, in Seoul's Jongno-gu, one of South Korea's heavily visited tourist areas, is the first to be designated as what's being called a special management area. The initiative, announced on Monday by the district's mayor, enables restrictions to be implemented for visiting times and traffic to protect the natural environment and also the residents living in the area. Within color-coded zones, where red signifies the highest level of inconvenience for residents, visiting hours will be restricted to between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. From October, there will be a trial period, with full implementation planned for March next year. That brings us to the end of tonight's AI headline news. Thank you for watching. Good night.